talking about a tricky topic. We're gonna talk about abuse because I feel like no one has really talked about this in the lesbian YouTube community yet. What would you consider abusive behavior when you're in a relationship with somebody?
I think there's lots of different types of abuse: physical, mental, emotional, sexual.
Those forms of abuse can be exhibited in many, many different ways, not just physical. You know, they could show up in forms of jealousy, or the other person being very controlling, or them having a lot of trust issues and taking those things out on you, or having violent outbursts of anger.
Any intent to cause harm, whether it be physical or emotional, when you are intentionally trying to do that to your partner, is abuse. I feel like in so many abusive relationships, something happens and then the next day they're like, I'm so sorry, baby. You know, but they have like an anger. Sometimes there's like a history of abuse in their family, so it seems like normal to them.
Have you ever been in an abusive relationship?
I would not say that I've been in an abusive relationship.
I think that I allowed this person to kind of like take certain parts of me. People can look and say that are good things, like me talking to people, having new friendships or whatever, and this person was so insecure that they made me feel horrible about being that type of person and like talking to all these people. They just assume that I'm just like trying to have sex with all these people, so they like tried to take that part of me away. You know, I've been in a situation where I've been, you know, hit by an ex or whatever, and she'll apologize for it and always have an excuse like, oh, I was drinking or I was this. But we should never allow ourselves to get in that situation, especially if we love or care about each other. We should be respectful of each other and never allow those things to happen.
I have had friends that have been in abusive relationships. Most all of those that I know of, at least the knowledge that I had, were all forms of emotional abuse.
How did your friends reach out for help? Or like, did they at all? Did they talk to you about it? Did you just see it from afar and know what was going on?
I'm often a person that people come to talk to, especially now that I'm dating Chrissy as well, because we're both really good listeners. I think people who are being abused don't even realize they're being abused, and so, or they justify the people's actions, that they're, you know, why the person that they love is doing something like this. They would never try to hurt me, so they don't realize that they need to get out of that situation, or they just completely justify why that person's doing it.
Oh, now I've heard of the LGBT Center like having classes where, you know, people can come in and like speak to each other about this, but I didn't really have anywhere to go during then, so I would just try to talk to my friends or her friends and try to figure out how to handle this situation.
They have often not gone for help because either society or law enforcement doesn't take the threat seriously, or they feel like I should be able to handle this. You know, it's just another woman, she probably can't hurt me.